everybody. Dr. Glidden's going on the road, so you got the commander for the next hour of Fire Your MD Now. So, again, thanks to Dr. Wallach for the wisdom, Dr. Glidden for the opportunity, and I look forward to talking to you. Today, we got Robert on the phone from Colorado. Says he's got a kidney problem. What you got going, Robert?
Yes, thank you for taking my call. Basically, I've been on kidney dialysis for a while, and I also have receding gums.
Okay.
I'm kind of new to this, but I've been listening to a lot of YouTube and Dr. Wallach and Peter Glidden and so forth. What could I do about that?
Well, first you'll be able to fire your MD. Have you gone to Dr. Glidden's website?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I've been there.
Okay. Have you become a member of his website?
That part I didn't do, but I did get his list of good foods and bad foods.
All right, that's a great start, Robert. That's a great start. How long have you been on dialysis for?
Oh, it's been 12 years now.
12 years? And what was the cause of your kidney failure?
Well, I believe it was, I had problems with high blood pressure at the time.
Right. Right, and you said you had, again, thanks to Dr. Glidden, my background is in allopathic medicine. I've been a nurse for about 26 years. I've been in the field since about 1978, so I've seen a lot of things come and go in that time. And recovering my health with Dr. Wallach and Dr. Glidden's help has just been invaluable. And so we're going to help you out a lot. Have you incorporated the good food, bad food list into your life?
Well, I have started to try to make little changes. At this point, I'm in a place where I get my meals cooked for me, but I am kind of trying to work around that, and they do make scrambled eggs and such like that.
Okay.
So I'm kind of having to work around it, and I also got myself some mineral salt, and so those are the two changes I've made. This has all been within a couple of days.
Good, good. And have you noticed anything at all? Do you find it difficult to make the dietary changes?
Actually, even the little bit that I've done, I've been using salt and salting my food and even putting a little in my water. I find myself starting to feel better. So
yeah,
I'm sure what comes out there.
Yeah, salt's one of the most huge minerals in your body. We all need it. You know, it's like Doc Wallach says, he was a vet. We don't put the salt block out in the field and tell the deer you can only have 2 licks today, right?
Right.
But people with kidney problems have to be careful because, you know, you don't need to notice any swelling, undue swelling or rise in your blood pressure. So because it was your high blood pressure, and what other symptom did you say you had before?
Well, right now I do have, like I said, the receding gums, which I know was the osteoporosis. And I have dry skin. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what that is. Somebody said it was gluten, I believe.
Somebody's right. Also, too, you know, how tall are you?
I am about 5'3".
How much do you weigh?
Around 250 pounds.
250 pounds. So taking the stress off your body and going on a gluten-free diet and going on a gluten-free diet is going to be important for you, and trying to get that and dial down to 1,200 calories is going to be really key. Okay. So for you, Dr. Glidden has a wonderful webinar on how to recover your kidney health that way, but we have helped so many people recover from kidney dialysis. Your body was telling you with the receding gums that you had a calcium deficiency. And a lot of times the calcium helps open the vessels in the kidneys, and then we give them some herbal root-rooters and we clean them out. And a lot of times people enjoy good kidney health. So for you, at 200, you said 230 pounds?
Yes.
Okay. 230 pounds. So you're going to need at least 2 healthy start packs. And everybody gets selenium. To get selenium, you're going to need 4 bottles of selenium per month. I pardon for my pet, but we do this from our home. So you're going to need a product called Super KP, Super Kidneys and Bladder, Super KP, and you're going to need a couple of bottles of that as well to take. So break those down into increments, whatever's in the bottle. So you break that up over a month. You're going to need 1 extra bottle of calcium to go with that. I would get the Cal Toddy from Superlife so that you're taking 1 ounce of calcium 3 times a day. And at nighttime, if you want to take it, you can mix it with a little room temperature water and take it right before you go to bed. Take the calcium right before you go to bed. Brush your teeth and go to bed. I mean, this stuff works within like 5 minutes, and it's going to help you normalize. Now, are you on a lot of medications at all?
No, I'm really not. Not at this time.
Not this time? Anything for your blood pressure?
No, because I'm not having problems with my blood pressure.
Good. That's very good. That's awesome. So you go to dialysis 3 times a week?
Yeah, 3 times a week for 4 hours.
Okay. So anyway, so you're going to do about 4 scoops of Beyond Tangy Tangerine every day. And make sure you mix it in plenty of water. Do you have a water restriction with your dialysis?
Yeah, I can have a certain amount of water per day.
Okay, one of the things that I do to help the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is I put it in plain yogurt, plain whole-fat yogurt. If I can't drink it with water, I put it in plain whole-fat yogurt. So, and that's the way I take my Beyond Tangy Tangerine and yogurt. So that way the fluids aren't, a deterrent for you. Of course, get your fluids that you need. So if you're going to do about 4 scoops, then, it's just put it in yogurt twice a day, or take 2 scoops, put it in about 20 to 30 ounces of water, and sip that slowly through the day, okay? Okay, Robert, You need to drink that slowly. You never need to chug it. You can't take it in before 1 hour, before 1.5 hours time, because then your belly's going to let you know about it, and, you're going to get rid of more of it probably than you'll take in. So we got to give the body time as you start recovering your gut with the diet, of course, foremost. And as your bowel starts to heal, because you definitely have leaky gut, and if you want to Google that, check that out. We have to, they say for about every year that you haven't been gluten-free, that you're suffering from a chronic illness, it takes about a month of recovery. But everybody is different. So you never know where the airplane's going to take off on the runway, right, Robert?
That's right.
So, again, the Super KB, you're going to take 2 EFA Plus 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you're going to take, you're going to split up to 12 selenium a day. So 3, 3, and 4, 4, and 4 every day, because it's going to help reduce the oxidative damage in your body and help your liver as well, which also helps the kidneys, because a lot of people that have problems with their kidneys also end up with some liver problems. I've seen that over so many years of watching people suffer. So, again, it starts with the nutrition protocol. Stay with that. Keep in touch with us and let us know what's happening. And we look forward to hearing about your success.
Yes, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your information.
You're welcome, Robert. Don't forget the call-in number, everybody, 866-582-9933. Hey, did you hear the one about the 13-year-old that was eating ramen noodles? Probably their whole life. The mom keeps buying them. She's got the body of an 80-year-old. She's been warned by her doctors. Isn't that crazy? There's so many food additives out there, ladies and gentlemen. And it's crazy because when you try to go gluten-free, everybody wants to know, what can I do for bread? What can I do for bread? just get on basic food. Take basic foods. Get your meat. Get your vegetables. Get your fruit. Forget about the rest. Make lettuce wrap. Eat yogurt. Don't worry about all those grain groups. But in the Good Food, Bad Food Protocol, when you go to fireyourmdnow.com, sign up for Dr. Glidden's newsletter, he sends that to you. He tells you about rice, brown rice. He tells you about quinoa. Those are all 2 great grains. Pearl millet. Those are all acceptable. So again, everybody needs to get some good information. Come to a good source of information. We're here for you 24/7, 365. Join me on the Wellness Warriors, on Facebook. And there's a think tank of information there. We attack situations. And, yes, we do get some very good recovery from things you never even heard about. So, again, call in. I'd be happy to take your call and help you sort out your health issues. But nobody's waiting right now. So what else did we talk about? We talked about the lady that had the baby in the bathtub. How many of you people have suffered needlessly? I had a call yesterday. I work on an ambulance, basically. I'm a nurse on an ambulance. So I see people suffering all the time. I picked up a little kid yesterday who was having trouble breathing, and they couldn't really decide what it was, so we give medicine. Everybody doesn't realize about all these medicines that people take. I take people that have, so many medicines. They're so depleting the nutrients from their bodies. It's so important to just get on the 90 for life if you don't have any ailments. When we talked about day 1 for Todd's baby, day 1 was the day of conception. Even before that, for the mom. So we're going to pray that everything comes out well for her. And when we come up on the other side of the break, we'll talk some more. So remember, go to Fire Your MD Now, get on Dr. Glidden's list, and get on Facebook page, Wellness Warriors. And we look forward to helping you with any concerns that you have over your health or over health of loved ones. Hey everybody, it's Commander. I'm back with you here on Fire Your MD Now. Remember, our call-in number is 865-882-9933. If you have a health issue or want to make a comment, please call in. I was watching a YouTube video the other day about a guy he's really hepped up on getting rid of the sugar in his kid's diet, and the kid loves soda pop. So in order to save money, he just went out and bought a bag of sugar, a big bag of sugar, and got some Ziploc bags. And because that's the real kicker in soda pop, he put as much sugar as in the can of pop in a plastic bag. And in the morning when the kid was going to school, he said, "Here you go. Here's the sugar that you need, so we're going to save money and we won't have to buy the soda pop." So I just threw it on the table. I think I almost fall off my chair, But anyway, Dr. Glidden and I talked about so much, and Dr. Walsh talked about going gluten-free, and, the effects of that are just so profound. Over 900 illnesses can be caused from leaky gut from eating gluten, and that just sets the fire down in your small bowel, your small intestine, down in your belly, and prevents you from absorbing nutrients. And what we're seeing now is just I can't even think of a word. There's just so much suffering because of things that people, if they just knew, it's what you don't know, it's crazy. But anyway, I wanted to bring up something today. We're watching autism come on the rise, and before it was 1 in 150, then it was 1 in 80, and it's come down to 1 in 50 kids are affected by autism, and that's not because we're having a better time identifying them, because if we did, we'd have so many more ill people in the world. Because if they found out those people were autistic when they were little, there should be millions more. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was, why we get rid of the gluten. Because what it does, the protein in the gluten, and they were looking at it in England, and they found it a substance called gluteomorphins. Gluteomorphins kind of sounds like morphine, right? Because it does cross the blood-brain barrier and causes almost the same effect as a morphine-type drug. So they detect this in children, autistic children. It's in their urine. Anybody that has schizophrenia, depression, ADHD, and autoimmune disorders like lupus and those kind of things. So, you know, the other one that's important too is also milk, and we all know that milk is pretty much people's milk. They have hormones and antibiotics in there, so you know you're constantly putting your body at a deficit, like I was talking about before, and when we were talking to the gentleman about his kidney problems. Every time you take medicines, it chews up important nutrients in your body, and it's very specific a lot of times. And if you have a child that has like a lot of ear infections and sore throats, and you went to the doctor because you knew that was the only game show in town, you know, and they gave these antibiotics, and they just kept depleting your child's immune system by eliminating the good bacteria in the gut. So one of the things that we really need to do for our children is we need to heal their guts. And how do we do that? You know, it can be difficult, but it takes time. It takes time. You know, I didn't recover my health overnight. Dr. Glidden used to have back trouble, you know, until he hooked up with Dr. Wallach a little bit and got on the glucogel, you know, and that's been an important staple for both of us. So, you know, you got to really think about those things. You got to think about, you know, what am I giving to my kids? What am I giving to myself? Am I setting a good example for my kids? So we got to clean up the diet again. Again, you know, staying to the outside of the grocery store is just so pivotal. You know, most of the ones like I have around my house, like, you know, Jewel, Dominic's, things like that. If you stay to the outside, you go to the vegetables, get the vegetables. You can get the fresh meat. You can get hopefully some good dairy, you know, and you gotta do your homework because you gotta read the labels. The first few times you go in the store, it's going to be kind of difficult, but you know, it's amazing that what they set in the aisle outside the store too. They set the pastries and stuff like that. They'll set that up on tables, so they'll put that in your way. So everybody's very visual and they're going to get it, but you gotta pass by. You guys gotta pass by, and you gotta buy the fresh stuff as fresh as you can. Remember, organic first, then fresh, then frozen vegetables are okay. Get the best meat you can, get the grass-fed, and you know, your life is going to change. So then by that time, you know, you've joined longevity, and life is going to be good because you get the nutrients you need, and the body will absorb them really, really well.
Over.
We're back here at Fire Your MD now with the Commander. Remember, that call-in number 866-582-9933 and website fireyourmdnow.com. So anyway, call us right now, but I wanted to continue that talk about shaping our children's nutrition. It's so vital that we do that. You know, we see the government doing things like they're coming up with a new anthrax vaccine, right? They want to test it on kids. They really don't know the side effects, but I guess they really don't care. That kind of bugs me a lot because serving in the military, I guess I was also kind of a guinea pig because I remember going into basic training, just walking through the line and having the doctors and the technicians just punch your arm, bam, 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 with all these immunizations or whatever they were. Drink this. Don't drink water for a half hour. Go stand out in the hot sun. And in a couple of weeks, I got a little touch of something, and I almost thought I wasn't going to get through basic training. And that was the greatest fear anybody had that went in the military. And I went in voluntarily because I saw things coming down the pipe, and I loved freedom and living in America. So we knew the American presence. and American spirit wins the battle. And those are the people that Dr. Wallach, Dr. Glidden, and myself, we all deal with in longevity. These people have great spirit and great motivation. So had a case the other day where I picked up a lady who was pregnant. She had a neurological disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's a virus. And as I was talking to her a little bit, I said, this looked like a reasonably healthy lady. I said, what happened? She said, I said, yeah. I said, what have you been eating? And she was telling me it wasn't all that bad. But I said, did you get a flu shot this year? She said, about a few months ago, right? And this lady has to walk with a walker for a while. She has limited sensation in her feet and her legs. And she's got to go to rehab hospital and she's going to be away from her family while this all comes back. Now, Guillain-Barré syndrome can be very devastating for people, and they used to call it Andy Griffith's disease because what happened is the paralysis usually starts from your feet, works its way up. You end up not being able to breathe. They have to put a hole in your neck, attach you to a ventilator, pump you full of medications, and hope it resolves. So for months, you're like laying there wide awake and not being able to move or breathe for yourself. So it's very devastating. So in this respect, she was lucky that it was, I guess, caught early and her body set up a really good defense. And it only got up to her waist, and she'll be able to go home and enjoy time with her family and hopefully have a successful delivery. So, but again, immunizations are something that's on everybody's heart, because, we're kind of forced to do it. I mean, even Mrs. Commander at work, they wanted her to have the flu shot. We're very much against the flu shot. I think if there was one immunization I would get, it would be a tetanus shot. So, because once you get tetanus, it's very hard to reverse that. No matter how many medicines we can give you to help reverse that, immunoglobulin, things like that, it's very difficult, and it is true. The jaw does lock up, and people don't do well. So, that would be one that I would get, because once you get it, like I said, it's very difficult, very, very difficult to reverse. But there are better strategies out there if you have to immunize your kids. One of the ways you can do that is, again, to get informed. And Sherry Tenpenny, if you Google that lady, she is like the guru of immunizations as well. And Dr. Glidden and I both promote Sherry Tenpenny. Big commander salute out to her. But again, if we keep giving our kids the processed foods, the sugars, and keep affecting their guts, that's where our immune system is. It's in our gut. So if it's on fire, letting all these toxins through, they go right to the brain. There's a very intimate connection between the gut and the brain, and that's why we're seeing this autism thing come into big fruition, because we are not eating the way we need to eat. We need to say, hey, stop putting this stuff in the market. We can't keep putting this food in our bodies. We need you to make we need to get some sustainable foods. Again, CSAs in the neighborhood where you can. There's people growing gardens on their rooftop. It's very exciting. I visited a place called The Plant in Chicago in the Stockyards District a couple of weeks ago with Mrs. Commander. We had some great insight on how to get the garden going this year with limited space. The beehives were on the roof. We gotta promote the bees. That we need that to help pollinate our plants, because that's what's going to help them grow the best. So again, all those good foods are going to take the pressure off the kids' brains. And God provided alternate pathways. Like if your electric goes down in your house, and around me it's ComEd, they reroute it. The body has an infinite ability to do that, but it only can reroute so many times, and you have like a parallel grid next to your nerves, so there's two sets going. So by the time you burn out the first set and burn out about 50 to 60% of the second set, the body's having a really hard time doing that, and that's when we see a lot of these symptoms. We see kids, again, with autism, ADD, ADHD, kids that can't move well, they have dyslexia, and then and dyspraxia, they get depressed. they get depressed because the happy hormone can't get to their brain because the majority of it's produced in your gut. And then what happens? You know, people get schizophrenic, and it's like watching the show Walking Dead. You know, it's not so far-fetched because if we keep affecting our brains the way we are with the crummy food that we eat and not take the nutrients, the 90 nutrients that you need for your body weight, you know, that's like plausible fiction. It's just crazy to watch that show. And actually, I was turned on to that by my stepson. He said, "You got to check out this show, Mark." I was like, okay. So we did, and Mr. Commander guy got hooked. And it's just like, you know, the guy gets shot, the sheriff gets shot, he's out of commissioner for a while, and he wakes up. This whole thing has taken over the earth, all over the United States. You know, this virus has infected the brain or what have you. And the only way to get rid of these people is to kill them, to shoot them through the brain. You know, do we want it to come to something like that? It's kind of out there, but you know what? If we keep eating the crappy food, not taking the nutrients we need because, you know, we know all our foods are anemic right now. All our vegetables are because if they don't put the minerals in the soil, good Lord, you know, outside of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that the farmers put in the soil, if they don't put anything else in there, that's all that's in the plants. And through Dr. Wallach's, you know, millions of dollars of research, you know, he found out that, you know, if you don't take certain minerals, you're going to suffer more. And it's 2/3 of our requirements every day that we get 60 minerals, you know, and along with the 16 vitamins, along with the 12 amino acids, the three essential fatty acids at the center of your nutritional program, at the center of it, you know. Eat good, clean food. Get your 90 if you have challenges like diabetes or arthritis, kidney problems, eye problems, like the lady yesterday with the glaucoma. You know, I think her name was Marie. You know, hats off to Marie for calling in to get good advice, plausible advice, so that they can take charge of their health because, you know, when this whole federal Obamacare thing comes down the pipe, you know, right now, you know, most doctor appointments are 15 minutes. It's like, hey, Mark, how are you? All right, Doc. Yeah, I heard you got a blah, 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 blah. Well, we're going to order this blood test, and I'll leave you this prescription. And if the blood test is okay, I'll see you again in 6 months. Oh, by the way, hang on, take a deep breath. And he listens to your, you know, listens to your lungs and stuff. And that's how it's going to go at the family doctor. We're not going to have the accessibility that we need. And that is going to be a great problem because more people are going to be sick. You get together. Don't forget to, you know, again, join longevity. You know, get on the Wellness Warriors because we are a positive influence, and we are changing the way healthcare is practiced in the world. So, again, go to fireyourmdnow.com. Get with Dr. Glidden. You know, he was the one that brought me to longevity. I'm so grateful for that. I recovered so many health problems. We got to be very proactive. So, you know, so if you got to get vaccines for your kids, you know, search out every alternative that you can do. Heal their gut. Give them yogurt, full-fat yogurt. Don't buy the crap yogurt. Just buy regular yogurt. I like Brown Cow. I like Stonyfield Farm. I'm not paid by them. Those are just two of them that Dr. Glidden and I really like a lot. And we add to them. You know, we put our Beyond Tangy Tangerine in there. If we can't drink all the fluids during the day, it works out real well, so we're getting all those nutrients, you know. So we need to boost our children's immune status, you know, because every time you get a vaccine, it's measles, mumps, and rubella, diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. You know, it's crazy because, you know, they want to give you 3 things at one time, and sometimes our kids' bodies are not ready for that, So, again, you know, we need to find out how good an immune system our children have before we go ahead and do this. Maybe only give them one vaccine at a time, you know, because measles is already present in our body. Tetanus is already in our body. It's called an opportunist. It's not called a beneficial bacteria. It's an opportunist. So we need to put as much beneficial bacteria in our body. We talk about things like the Flora FX or the root beer belly. You know, The Ripper Belly's amazing. I got to test drive this for longevity. I called up one day and talked to Dr. Wallach's daughter, Michelle Wallach, and she was sitting there with Steve, his son. And I said, Michelle, you know, you guinea pig yourself so much with so many products, you know, this new thing that's coming out. I said, did I test drive it for the company? And at first there was a kind of a no, and then there's like, oh, maybe we'll let them do it. And I was the only one outside of corporate that knew what it was. You know, I knew it was going to be root beer flavored. I knew that it was a probiotic. Nobody else knew about the probiotics. And then we slowly just let people try it without knowing what it is. And it didn't have a name yet, you know. And it's just awesome. It was like it tastes like a pixie stick when we knew when we were kids. And Dr. Glidden and I are about the same age. And it was just amazing of how many weapons you can put in your arsenal for good health. And Ripper Belly is definitely one of them that I would get for every kid and give it to all your kids. So otherwise, all that sugar, all that processed food, we're going to overcook our kids. One of the big words coming down the pipe today is called immunosenescence. Now, immuno, we know, is related to immune status, and senescence means aging. And how I first learned about that word, I had never heard that word for many years. And my mother had a chest X-ray. They used the word senescent chest under the impression. I was like, what the heck is that? So looked it up. It just says age. So we're aging our immune system so that we're not giving it back what it needs. So, you know, in the what's your trigger? You know, what's your trouble light? What's your car light? Is it gray hair? Is it dry skin? Is it kidney function? Is it sugar function? All those things are very, very impactful in our lives. Is it arthritis, our joints? Is it your eyesight? You know, is it your hearing? You know, it's just crazy. So when we come back from the break, we'll talk some more. Remember, please call in 866-582-9933. Remember, Fire Your MD Now and Wellness Warriors with a Z on Facebook. This is the Commander. We'll be right back. Man, we are rolling into the last segment here on Fire Your MD Now with the Commander. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. Thanks to Dr. Glidden for letting me take the reins. It was kind of a surprise, but, you know, hey, we're on the same mission, him and I, so he can get to wherever he needs to be in a safe way. You know, look for his name wherever. Go to his website, fireyourmdnow.com, find out where he's at. Go hear that man. He will fire you up and motivate you. So let's tie up what we're talking about today. So we're talking about good nutrition always. We're talking about the relationship between our guts and our brain. It's so vital, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know what you don't know. That's one of Dr. Glidden's things that have really hit me in the head over the last 4 years I've been associated with him. And he's been my doctor. I need one doctor. I don't need a neurologist, a cardiologist, an immunologist, a nephrologist. I don't need any of those guys. I go to one doctor. I go to Dr. Glidden. He's got it all tied in. They know how all parts of the body intertwine, and they have very plausible solutions without medication, so we can promote the healing of the body by giving it the nutrients it needs rather than blocking the nutrients, blocking something, and just running out of nutrients more. So, again, Fire Your MD Now. And, again, it's been my pleasure to be hanging out with you guys today. But, again, remember, you know, the immune system, that relationship between our guts and our brain are so vital. We spend so much money. We spend so much money on health care. We are the number one spender on health care, and we don't even live the longest. Remember, read Dr. Wallach's book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and he'll tell you there's not one doctor that are out there that'll put his family on chemotherapy. Well, we got Lisa from California. Lisa, you're live with the Commander.
Hi, Commander. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling. We only got a couple minutes. What's up?
Okay. My father-in-law has been taking Glidden for a while, and I wanted to know what the protocol to kind of get him off of that is.
Well, what's he got going? Has he got the leg cramps? Restless leg syndrome?
You know, I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard with him because they kind of keep the medical stuff quiet. But I know he's on Coumadin, and he does have some heart issues.
He does, huh? So, and what else he got going? I mean, I was on Coumadin, so I can talk directly from a success story on that. See, all we have to find out is what's going on with what ailments and what kind of more symptoms he's having, and then we can best fill up his nutrient tank and get him off that quinine. Usually they were giving it for either regular heartbeats or people have restless leg or leg cramp, you know.
Right. No, I don't know that he has any.
Why is he on Coumadin?
I think because of the heart problems that he has.
So he has atrial fibrillation?
Yeah, it could be AFib, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. Like I said, they kind of keep it quiet about what his medical problems are.
And why is
know
that?
He's on, I don't know. It's my father-in-law, so I don't really know.
Yes, they're not ready to jump on it yet, are they?
No, yeah, like I said, they keep everything really quiet.
All right. So anyway, hit me on wellnesswarriors.com on Facebook, Wellness Warriors with a Z, and we'll have to discuss that at a later time. But anyway, you can get them on the good food, bad food list, of course. That works out well. And again, stay in touch with me, PM me on Wellness Warriors, and I'll nail it down for you. And if we need to, Dr. Glidden and I talk almost every day, so we staff things, and it's definitely confidential. And but thanks for calling in.
Okay, sounds good.
So again, do that. It's just going to take more time than we have right now. So again, you've come to the right place. Again, you know, if you haven't got your father on the internet, you go to Fire Your MD now so you can get that good food, bad food list.